Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Hey Ugandans, I'm Lieutenant Colonel Dewa Kiki, the Deputy Defense Spokesperson and actually the Deputy Spokesperson for the Uganda People's Defense Forces. I was hosted on Alternative Dig Talk. I encourage all Ugandans that this is the way to go. Always watch, participate, give your views and ask questions on Alternative Dig Talk. Dig Talk, the way to go.
Beautiful people, you're welcome to the Snap Talk with your girl Teddy Teaange every Saturday right from 6 to 7.
It is your responsibility omwana wo kubeera mu nyumba nga teyasuze bweru mbo bamubanja rent. Koyo kulaba abalenzi abasajja abakunga mutuufu tebabuulirirwa nga babulamu.
Towerabira nti tuli wano ku the Alternative Dig Talk. Mukwano gwange gwali topic kiri wandyagadde twogereko. Is it about family?
You can take your time, look for a job, stabilize, men will come, men will always be there, you will get the men. Bonna goyagala musajja yina goyagala ojja mufuna.
Embaga ketuuke. Bino bitu byasenga na ojja bafuna.
Naye ng'oli asitudde tuyakedde ku macabaga nti nsitudde tu. Naye nga mutuufu agambye nti gy'akyali muto.
Is it outside family? Is it society? Oh, could it be relationships? Just be commenting a topic yona gyandyagadde twogereko tujjako tujogera kwano ku the Alternative Dig Talk ku share enganzi the Snap Talk.
You have got to get up pretty early to go do something. We are the Alternative Dig Talk. With our mobile studios, we are redefining TV presentation just as technology is setting the pace. We are blending our approach with fresh, perspectively designed breakfast show, The Mighty Drive, informative and entertainment show, exclusive and live interviews.
We President Museveni wadde juzi namulaba apima akawunga kilo 2 tasobola kalya nini bwaba alya kilo 5 oyanema okuliisa eggwanga ne bwe limundekera.
Njagala kwebaza the Alternative Dig Talk etuwadde kano ka Mighty Drive era n'abatuwuliriza bonna abali ku mikutu njagala basaba mugendo maaso n'okuwuliriza.
All given to you just a click away on your phone, tablet, laptop and smart TVs as we are streaming live on our social media platforms, on the road and on the go. We are the Alternative Dig Talk.
The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
As we are speaking right now, Uganda is entering the next financial year 2021 to 2022. Ewe twogeranga tuyingide omwaka omupya ogw'ebyensimbi nga batera okwogera omwami Mathew the Minister of Finances here in Uganda. We twogera today tuyingide the next financial year. New taxes are coming on board, and very many new policies are going to be passed in the budget of the 2021 to 2022 financial year 2021-2022. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. My name is Edgar Mathew Karuhanga. Today is the 1st of July 2021, and we are here, as we told you, and it's a Thursday, and what we do on a Thursday is it is always the in-house Thursday, where we talk about the things that are happening in Uganda, in the whole world, and what is trending and what is not trending, what is taking Ugandans by surprise, and what has come aboard when they know. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what we do. We talk about these different things, the dynamics every Thursday in the in-house Thursday. And not to forget, we always have the mighty fashion tips by the glamorous Teaange Nabukeera. She's always there on Thursday to give us what do you have to wear on which particular day, how do you wear it, why do you wear it, and the colors and different things. I'm not good at fashion. She is good at fashion, but I'm good at talking about what is happening in the country, and that is what I'm going to do. But later on in the show, we are going to be having Tulyahabwe giving us the environmental tips, telling us what is happening in the world of environment, climate change. Remember, he says he is a self-proclaimed climate change activist. He will tell you the other title he likes to talk about, but that will come in the later stage of the first hour of the show. And later, we shall have Omumbejja, Princess Lilian, Luwedde, right here with me as we start to digest on what has been trending, the top stories that have been trending in the month of June. We have a couple of stories that we have lined up for you. We shall be bringing them to you in this show today, and that is what you can expect that and more, by the way, not that only. So we shall be giving you most of that. Kasavu Kanyama will give you what is trending in Uganda, what is trending outside the world, what trended in the month of June, what did you miss out, what do you think the taking points we're taking home in this particular last month, all of that coming your way today on the Mighty Drive Show. My name is Edgar Mathew Karuhanga. Welcome aboard. Giving you what is happening, the Mighty news updates, what has been happening where you have not been. Let me, ladies and gentlemen, enter the show right about now. Let's start it off. Let me start off with the fact of the day. The fact of the day today is Uganda has 218 intensive care unit beds. Yes, this is a fact. Uganda has 218 ICU beds, according to the President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. As you remember his last presidential address, as he was going to, bring up the impending lockdown that he was going to declare. He told the Ugandans that as we speak right now, Uganda has 218 ICU beds. So that is the fact for you. You go and research if you want to find out more about this, but I'm telling you right now. That's why you're seeing a lot of financial impeccabilities that are happening all over the country because of the COVID-19. As we're speaking right now, a report came out that showed that the northern part of the country, that one does not even have adequate, not more than even 30 intensive care unit beds. So that is something that is sad, but is the fact of the day. And the district where the Speaker of Parliament comes from, Jacob Oulanyah, does not even have any intensive care unit bed. So that is how we are sad. And I don't know how these things, because when you talk about a population of 45 million Ugandans, and then they have only 218 intensive care unit beds, that comes at that is so alarming and a bit shameful, I might say. But let's delve into the news that has been trending all over the world, and Uganda particularly. Let's start off with the new financial year. As we are speaking right now, we are in the new financial year. We are waiting for the budget to be tabled by the Minister of Finance, Mr. Mathew. And after that, the new tax policies are going to be taking charge and taking course. As we are speaking, the new tax laws that have been going on include the 12% tax, data tax, the 12% tax on data. So as we are speaking right now, OTT has been scrubbed off, or it's not going to be working anymore. But what is going to be working is they are going to start taxing the data you load. So every 25 MBs, just calculate 12% of that. I'm talking about the least amount of data someone can get. Let's start with 10%, 10 MBs. That goes for around, I think 300 shillings or 250 shillings. So 10 MBs, that means you will have to pay a tax of 12%. So you look at the 12% of 10, and then you will remain remain with the rest. So as you go higher, when you start loading a GB, that means there's 12% tax that is levied on this particular data bundle that you are loading. So those are some of the new taxes that are coming aboard in this particular financial year of 2021-2022 as declared by the Minister of Finance himself, the man, Mr. Mathew. He promised Ugandans that the economy will be going like free, and you know how he likes to do that. It's something that has been trending, that has trended for a while in Uganda here. So the Minister of Finance will be tabling this particular financial year, and the policy makers, unfortunately the legislators are not in-house right now because of COVID-19. Yes, we know over 200 MPs were tested positive for COVID-19. So because of this, the parliament was sent into I will say a break for a couple of days. So we shall be waiting to see if the parliament will actually pass these particular new taxes that have come on board. But it's time that we come and think about these things. It's time where people are home. That means they are connecting virtually, and while you're connecting virtually, you will have to connect using internet, and that means you'll have to use data. So when you start taxing the data in a time when Ugandans really actually need to use this particular data at the most, that means sometimes some things are not really feasible in terms of planning and in terms of implementation. But that is what the government is saying. And about this particular thing, we had the spokesperson of the National Unity Platform, Mr. Joel Senyonyi, who came aboard and said that we should start practicing. I'm going to put it in quotes because he was the one who was actually saying these words. He said we need to start practicing politics of common sense, where he said in times where Ugandans need the data and need to be working from home virtually, and then you bring up the 12% tax and you scrub off the OTT. Sometimes some things are not brought about feasibly, or some things have not been well researched. So according to Joel Senyonyi, this is some of the things he was talking about, and he was criticizing this particular move of introducing the 12% tax on data. So we had all these a couple of days ago, months ago, where we had that yes, they are going to be introducing new tax laws, but we didn't know they were going to come this fast. But yes, new tax laws are here with us. 12% on data. That means me and you who are watching, because you're using data and I'm actually also using data right here, we shall have to abide and start paying the 12% of the data. That is what is coming up from there. Then the Uganda National Examinations Board, UNEB, is stuck with the PLE exams and UCE exams, according to this body, because it's the one that takes all the examinations in Uganda as we speak right now. They say they have finished marking all the papers, starting from the primary living examinations to the Uganda Certificate of Education examinations, UCE. According to them, they were supposed to be released this particular week. We are going to see the primary living examinations being released. Then next week, we would have to see the UCE examinations being released. But UNEB says they are not sure about this particular move because of the COVID-19 and because of everything that is happening now. They're not sure if they should release the examinations or they shouldn't. So they say they are stuck. But a tentative plan is that some will be released this particular week. We are not sure about this, by the way. Quote me right. But and the other examinations, the UCE examinations, will be released next week. So we are not sure, but that is the tentative plan as per the Uganda National Examinations Board. So all the vacists, I don't know, everybody is a vacist now because everybody is at home. So most of the people who are the students who came from who did their examinations, the senior 4 and senior 6 and P7 and senior 4, they will be anticipating the examinations this time around. At just 14 minutes past 7 a.m. This also was supposed to come tomorrow in the sports segment, but allow me just congratulate Express FC, Mukwano Gwabanje. I have a couple of people who support this particular team. I know many people. Davis Nganzi is a fan of Express FC. So Mukwano Gwabanje have become the champions of Uganda in the Uganda Premier League, that the Star Times Uganda Premier League as we speak right now. These particular lads were able to claim themselves their first title in 9 years. We last saw Express taking a title home. That was in 2012, I think. They had Dennis Bosa was still one of their coaches. I think he's still one of their coaches even up to now. They have claimed their first title in 9 years, Express FC, and they will be qualifying for the CAF Champions League playoffs. So let's wait and see what will happen. But what is happening in Wankulukuku right now is a lot of fun, a lot of happiness, because the Express FC, the young lads, being helped by Moro Shujukwo, one of Uganda's most experienced centre-backs. He came through, he changed the game. We've seen their coach and their technical team. These guys have actually did a tremendous job with the consistency, with the goals being scored. So congratulations to Express FC. They claim themselves the title of the Uganda Premier League. This has come after the league has been cancelled. It has happened like what happened last season. You remember it was 70% of the games had been played. Then Vipers were declared champions of Uganda. So this is what has happened again this particular year, where we had played 70% of the games. So the Footballing Association of Uganda, FUFA, decided that, you know what, let us award Express, since they had already, we were remaining with only 3 games to go. But in these 3 games, we still, all 3 teams, URA, Express and Vipers, would be able to win the title because they were just having a margin of 2 points from the first to the third. So there was still a chance for Vipers and URA, but unfortunately, because of COVID-19 that has been ravaging Uganda, we have seen some of these guys actually miss out on winning themselves or claiming their Uganda Premier League title. URA was looking at it as an opportunity for them to maybe win, but they have not been able to actually claim this particular title. Express FC, congratulations to you. And then, as we are speaking right now, Uganda has crossed their 1,000 COVID deaths mark. So we have had, yesterday we registered over 34 COVID-19 deaths, and that came to a total of 1,023 people who have succumbed to the disease since it broke out in Uganda. That was March last year, 2020. So unfortunately, these particular deaths are increasing by the day. So we are having 1,023 people who have succumbed to COVID-19, and this is according to the statistics and the general hospitals where people are actually dying from. But there are very, very many people, various numbers of people who are dying in their homesteads, who are dying in their communities. You've seen people on borders just breaking up and just dying. Some places you cannot even afford yourself a decent post-mortem in the rural parts of Uganda. That means you cannot even you cannot justify the cause of someone's death. So these are some of things that are underreported. When we talk about things that are underreported, COVID-19 has been underreported in the country. And I think there's an opposition cleric who was saying that the government is actually downplaying some of these COVID-19 deaths. But I don't agree with him. Whereas, because in this particular, you cannot downplay them, because already we don't even have the facilities to actually get all these statistics about the people who are dying of COVID-19. So you who is watching me today, it is a call to you to keep sanitizing, wear your mask, keep social distancing, and if you can, stay at home and stay safe, because nobody is safe right now. Everybody is having a challenge. So Uganda has crossed the 1,000 mark. That means we have 1,023 people who are officially known to have succumbed to COVID-19, which is really, really something that is so saddening. Yesterday, retired Colonel Dr. Kiza Besigye came out to have a press address where he talked about what the policies that are being implemented in this time of COVID-19. He talked about a lot of things. He said 100,000 for each household is something that is not justifiable. He said it's not feasible. The money is too small. He talked about how are they actually going to cook this food. He talks about the rent. Why are we quiet about the rent? He was sharing a lot of things about this particular thing. He also asserts that the executive has taken over the power of the legislature in Uganda. People in the legislature have actually been crippled, and the executive is taking over the lead in this COVID-19 campaign. That is why we've seen the task force sitting with President Museveni and the ministers to actually make a decision for the whole country. Yet the government has 3 arms, which is the judiciary, the legislature, and the executive. They have to work hand in hand in order to maybe make it better. But the parliament as well has not just sat and looked on, but they have come out with a plan to start committees, because they are not sitting, but now they have committees that they are mandating from the different regions of the country to come and follow what is happening and how they are spending the COVID-19 money and the funds. So the government has set up committees, and we've saw every region has a committee of 9 members, 9 people who have to be on that committee and represent and make sure they follow the COVID-19 task force. They've dubbed it the COVID-19 Parliament Task Force. So let's wait and see what this particular task force will do, apart from sharing allowances, because these committees come come with a lot of a lot of allowances for the legislators. Let me come to the end of the show. It's just 20 minutes past 7 a.m. The cadre of the Secretary General National Unity Platform, Mr. Louis Rubongoya. Many people like this gentleman. I don't know why, and mostly the females. They like him a lot. So Louis Rubongoya says COVID-19 has really affected the middle class. And he has also come out to add his voice on what retired Colonel Dr. Kizza Besigye said. Retired Colonel Kizza Besigye said in not a very good language, where he referred to them as useless. He said the middle class and the elites are actually useless in the struggle of liberating Uganda. He said they have pretended that the civil service has pretended that they are not actually seeing what is actually happening on ground. And this was re-echoed by the gentleman Louis Rubongoya, who said that now COVID-19 has actually affected them. Even if you had the money now, the money is actually not enough. Because when you look at, when we say the elites and the middle class, we talk about people who can actually afford to take their children in a decent school, a private school. Then they can afford to drive a car in the morning and go to work, and they can afford to build a house maybe. Somebody who you may refer to as somebody who's at least okay, who's well off, who's okay. So those are the elites. And he said these people have been talking about these elites as being a lot useless. And so he says COVID-19 has actually affected them more than the other segment in Uganda, because some of them have failed to actually pay for the funds or the finances to help their loved ones. So Louis Rubongoya, I think, was just saying that this should be a call to action to them to also take part, because he said when we have challenges like this, it's not Louis or his colleagues or people of NUP or FDC or NRM who actually get the problem, but it's generally Ugandan. So in his address, he was saying that, you know what, let us be careful. Let the middle class also come and also start to fight for their, freedom and rights, because the other time you have been comfortable there, but now you're also as well affected by this. So he says this should be a uniting factor for them and the middle class and the elites to come aboard and make sure that they fight for what they believe in. So the accounts body also has postponed the accounts examinations. So accountants, for now, you're not going to be certified because you cannot sit for examinations. So they are also trying to anticipate maybe they should postpone the examinations. As I've come on board today, I'm not sure, they've not yet made a final decision about who is going to actually, sit. Are they going to actually sit for the examinations? Who's going to sit for the examinations? How are they actually going to sit for these examinations? I'm talking about the accountants in this particular game. Then Airtel also came out and the system shut down a couple of days ago. We saw people calling for free and data, people using data for free, but according to the Airtel Uganda, people are actually going to pay for these particular services they were enjoying for free. So if you had free calls, I have a couple of friends who are actually saying, "Badange, nekilwadde maaso amasimu tukubira bwerere mugenda kusasula." Then as I come to the end of the mighty global news updates, or the mighty news updates, the gentleman General Elwelu, I know many of you know him and remember him as one who led the Kasese, I won't call it massacre, I'll just call it intrusion, where they went to the Omusinga or Renzururu and tried to, fight his people who were, according to them, trying to plan a rebellion against the government. So he has come out to say, even though Ugandans, I'm going to use the words he used as I come to the end of the show. He says, even though Ugandans don't have hope in him, President Museveni does. So General yebagambye mwembate mumukiririzamu kasita omukulu amukiririza. As we are speaking, this gentleman is Lieutenant General and he's one of I would say he's the Army Chief of Staff right now, as he was promoted to the rank of Lieutenant General, this gentleman, by President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, and he was also given a post to be an MP for the soldiers or the army in the 11th Parliament. Let me come to the end of the show. Thank you so much for watching the global news updates. Let me make sure that you have everything you deserve. In studios, I already have a glamorous lady right here with me, Teddy Teaange Nabukeera, who's going to be giving us the fashion tips of the day. Teddy, good morning. Welcome to the Mighty Drive.
Good morning, Edgar.
I'm honored to have you around.
I'm honored to be here.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm okay. And so there are a couple of stories that are trending right here.
Yeah.
Did you know that you're going to start paying 12% on data?
Oh my God, I don't want to dig into that, Edgar, you know.
No, I just want to pick your mind, just a minute. Tell me, what do you think about the new tax policies that are being introduced in this country? As you're speaking right now in the next financial year, you're going to be paying 12% on data. So people have been evading the OTC, but right now they don't have a chance. They're going to actually be paying data.
Yeah.
What's your take?
Personally, I feel like it's really so unfair because we are oppressed in and out. Because given a fact we are locked in a house, you're locked, you're under a lockdown, and then they impose on you a tax which you're supposed to pay while you're not working. You understand? So, because our businesses are closed. So how do you tell me to pay tax when my business is closed?
And people are actually working on the internet now.
Yes, people are working on the internet. It's the only thing we are holding on to right now. And if you impose a tax there, it's really not fair. Because even the 100K they're going to give us, how is it going to help?
I don't know.
OTT or data, you find that 100K kaja kugura instead in that. So it's basically not fair.
It's not fair. Okay. Then lastly, I will take your mind on the COVID-19 deaths. As we're speaking right now, Uganda has crossed the 1,000 mark. So we have 1,023 people who have succumbed to COVID-19. How do you think the government has been feasible in their plan to maybe vaccinate and things like this to fight COVID-19?
They have not. Because, Edgar, I thought since they've locked us down, they're thinking like from afar. They're thinking
solution best. You're saying now you've put people in the lockdown. You're looking for solutions.
Exactly.
What are the solutions?
It feels
You're not even seeing them.
Like someone was saying on our show, The Voltage, someone said that they locked us down so that the guy is like, mufireyo.
Oh, agambe tufireyo. Let's go for a short commercial break. When we come back, it's the fashion tips with the glamorous Teaange Nabukeera. Good morning.
Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Hello beautiful people, you're welcome to the Snap Talk with your girl Teaange every Saturday right from 6 to 7.
It is your responsibility omwana wo kubeera mu nyumba nga teyasuze bweru mbo bamubanja rent. Koyo kulaba abalenzi abasajja abakunga butuufu tebabuulirirwa nga babulamu.
Towerabira nti tuli wano ku the Alternative Dig Talk. Mukwano gwange gwali topic kiri wandyagadde twogereko. Is it about family?
You can take your time, look for a job, stabilize, men will come, men will always be there, you will get the men. Bonna goyagala musajja yenna goyagala ojja mufuna.
Embaga ketuuke. Bino bintu byasenga na ojja bafuna.
Naye ng'oli asitudde ttu yakedde ku macabaga nti nsitudde ttu. Naye nga mubutuufu agambye nti gy'akyali muto.
Is it outside family? Is it society? Oh, could it be relationships? Just be commenting a topic yona gyandyagadde twogereko tujja kwa tujogera kwano ku the Alternative Dig Talk ku share enganzi the Snap Talk.
The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Welcome. Good morning, beautiful people. It's Teaange again here, taking you through the Might Fashion Tips. Let's talk fashion. And by the way, I want to remind you, you who is out there, did you know that you're beautiful and wonderfully made in God's image? So, fashion supplements on your beauty. Let's talk fashion. And guess what? Today we are going to talk about accessories. When you dress up, how do you spice up your outfit? How do you accessorize yourself and you look presentable? Let's go. And when I talk about accessories, I mean, today I woke up, I dressed up, I worked on my hair, I put on my outfit, and then I thought of how do I accessorize my outfit. You know, I have the outfit, but kabla a little blending. And I thought of the
earrings. And I'm like, let me get these danglers. Let me put them on. How am I going to look? Do I look better with them? How do I look with them? So, ladies out there, I'm here to encourage you that you can always accessorize your outfit in different ways. Oyambade, let me say a dress. How do you accessorize your dress? Is it with a necklace? Is it with whatever? Today we are tugakwanga to be so in different ways. I'm going to start with the earrings. Earrings. There is some beauty earrings add on a woman in that no offense, if you didn't prick your ear, it's okay. Waliwo earrings obuberanga bukola ku people who didn't prick their ears, you just put on, they use magnet. So, ladies, when you dress up, wake up in the morning, bathe, dress up, take a dress ko. Kagena kwa kabulamu a little blending. Tugena tandikane earrings, ogena tako earrings. It could be rather hooks, they could be long earrings, they could be just pins. So, I'm just telling you, if you're there, Mani, it's early morning, people are dressing up to go at work, and in Ndikulaga how to spice it up and you look more elegant. Earring is a good thing to accessorize when you dress up. Let's go to a necklace. Yeah. Today I woke up nenga bahale long ina kola ka necklace katono, and I'll keep it outside. I could keep it in, but then jagala, because the looks I have ngakali outside, it's very different with the looks I have when it's inside. So a necklace is another accessory you can use to spice up your outfit. We've talked about earrings, we've talked about the necklace. Now let's go to scarves. So sorry, today I didn't manage to put on a scarf because my outfit wouldn't blend a lot with a scarf. But a scarf, when you have an outfit, so nice. So I'm telling you that you can always use, we've talked about earrings, the necklace, the scarf. So we've talked about different things you can use when you're spicing up, your outfit. And now let's go to the ladies. They're caps. Anyway, there are some things that are unisex. Now, like for the men, you can use the caps and the hats as well. Likewise to the ladies, Ogenaku Beach. Or like it's too sunny and you want to rock in an outfit. How do you spice up? Imagine yourself, you're having earrings on, tick, the necklace. You have the hat or the cape on. Do you know the looks you're going to rock? Everyone everyone is admiring. Wow. The elegance you come with will be an extra. Yes. Remember, you're beautifully and wonderfully made in God's image. But we're still talking about fashion. Through accessories, how you can always accessorize your outfit. Let's talk about the amulet. It could be an amulet or a watch. Amulet, you can call it a bang as well. Yes, amulets, zina engedize omukono. When the hand is plain, it looks, there's some rare way it doesn't really hit it. Now imagine you have your hand, or either a watch or an amulet, which you may call a bangle. You look extra. We are going to talk about the shades. Omusana nakuzino, omusana mungi. You go everywhere, and it's too much. Omusana guli buli wamu. But how do you rock in your outfit? You protected yourself. Shades. What you may call them sunglasses, you may call them normal glasses, whichever way you may call them. Shades. Shades blend a lot, not only for the women but also the men as well. Wawa oliko border, you want to walk when you're tightening up your eyes and for the shades have got you. Put on your shades. Dinya border ogenda tukanga, your eyes are in good shape, but then also you rocked the world with your looks, So just to recap, we've talked about earrings, amulet, scarves, and then shades, and then caps, the caps and then the hats. Let's talk about the anklets. When I was growing up, they used to say, hey, it's for prostitutes. But no, that's not the story. When you talk about fashion, it depends on what you believe in anyway. An anklet, I remember when we were growing up, young kids, you would find that they would tie something in the baby's hand and then the leg. Just for formality. They are a form of decoration and then they help in the separation of the leg, So it's but anyway, I'm here to talk about it in a fashion style. Like you put on an anklet, no tumbler. When you're in open shoes, the nail polish, blending out. There's some maybe joke blending out with the anklet, and you look executive. We've talked about earrings. We've talked about earrings. We've talked about the anklet. We've talked about the armlet, the scarves, the shades, and then capes and hats. So I'm telling you, you can always accessorize. And then in our next episodes, we shall be looking at when do you accessorize with a cape, on which outfit, because there is a dress that will match with a cape. There is a dress that will match with a hat. There is a pant that will match. Anyway, in our next episode, we are going to go through all that. Nengeranga nchaba twalira ddala maaso here on the Might Fashion Tips. Twogere ku head socks. Head socks si basajja bakakaye bazambala. Nafa bakazi. First of all, they keep our hair in shape in that ziba tezononeka. Oba you can even find that you get your wig, notekako head sock. It's firm in that omya itosoba na jikusikako, you know. So head socks are other things that you can accessorize. Nga oyamba de ngoyagala okuneka. Head socks are the way to go as well. Eyo ngavudeo accessories nyingi nyonyo ddala. Naye nga tugenda kwa tusosoterako nasoboddeko kolerako research. Men, did you know that you also have clutch bags? I thought it's only for the women, but I just found out that also men have clutch bags. Clutch bags make work easy. Inti wobera oyambade dress, probably tetagako big bag. You can always use a clutch bag because you may find tetaga that big bag or tetaga even the waist bag. No garment. Let me have a clutch for the simplicity. You're simple, elegant, and smart. So clutch bags are not only for the women. Women, you're sorted, but also the men. Muwera nezi wallets ezibagwako abame negwa mutoyi negwa, but the clutch bag has got you. Like you don't have to necessarily have a back bag into it. I'm having just a phone I think that's to this back bag. No, you can use a clutch bag, not come your car wallet, you put your phone and whichever. So a clutch bag is another accessory for both men and women. It was exciting to find out that also men have clutch bags. It was so exciting for me. And leaving that aside, bags are a key to the women. Into omukazi wobera otambula you have a bag. Omuntu agenda looking at your bag akwe class. You know, if your bag is classy, or you're gonna gamba, wow, she has a good bag, you know. There are those small things that pull people's attention, and a bag is one of them. Just to remind you, there are many types of bags, like we've seen the clutch bag, there are cross bags, there are back bags, there are waist bags. There are many types of bags, but anything you carry that is in your lane or anything that favors you most, chiba chikola amakulu. In that, so okay, I'm putting on jeans and I really don't want to carry a bag, but then inesimi again in our wallet and get a cross bag. Or get a waist bag that is easy, you tie it around your waist, it's tight, it's safe, and you have it all over. Like where you go, it's just so simple. But that aside, tugenda kwa tutunulira the waist chains. Abakazi of late bagala jo crop tops. Olinambala high waist jean natako crop top. Waist chain adding her own beauty. It's an accessory as well. Nti omuntu wanambala waist chain. There is some rawe wagino labi kobulunji. However, our culture abamu they mistake it for being yalinga malaya. But no. My dear, that's fashion. It's not being a malaya. It's not being whatever you may think. It's just spicing up someone's looks. A waist chain because so nice. In that in the ATS we used to see Tingabagamba bayambalanga waist beads. Yeah, waist beads balanga in the ATS. But now the world is moving so fast. You find that some will use the waist beads, some will use the waist chains. And the good news is, a waist chain, ekuyambako kumanya, how far is your stomach? Egeze or tegeze? Like, you know, it works, it's a multi-purpose thing. It's for decoration, but then on the other hand, ekuyambako to keep in shape with your stomach. You know, when to work out, you'll be like, my waist chain is a little bit tight of late. That means my stomach has added on. So I'm encouraging you all, accessorize your outfits. If it's a crop top, put the waist chain. There is somewhere you're going to club kangala, you know, you're just elegant. But that aside, njagala kweyongerayo nga njagala obajjukiza nti accessories tezisobola kugwayo. But the good news is next time tugakwa twogera about different outfits, how to accessorize them. Which earrings do you put on big hair? Which earrings do you put on straight hair? Ebirenda tugenda kuba tubiraba mu our next episode. Ate ngera njagala obakubiriza nti just stay tuned. For the men, did you know that a belt is an accessory? Like imagine a guy in a pant, a gentle pant or jeans, ngatamba de belt. Oh my God, you look kind of outdated. But a guy in a belt, with jeans or a gentle pant. There is that class jengeno kuba in that noba over mu cavities in jakwa respect. I'm like, wow, he's smart. Anyway, a belt is an accessory for the men, and then a watch. A man without a watch, please, what the hell are you doing? Anyway, men, you don't have a lot of accessories, but I want to encourage you that a watch must be a mandatory. You wake up, jambale. Actually, I believe in the Neweba tekola, I wouldn't really mind. Nengo msaja ambade, imagine a guy putting on a belt with his watch, accessorizing it with a clutch bag. Oh my God, I'm already seeing the elegance. Before I even go further, we're going to be talking about different things, about different occasions, and later on jagala sagala batwala speeding. I feel like I've already talked about many accessories. Me ozera biro already. Anklet, see aba malaya, just to clarify, it's for fashion. Waist chain, see aba malaya, it's for fashion. Then the amulet, which could be the bangles. Oh my God, biyongerako chestera bide other rings. This ring, I'm not married or something. But don't you think my arm looks nice? So the rings also help in, omuntu wayambala natika ko amulet, natika ko karinke. Waliazo rings is that, or you may find a best friend ring, whatever ring you could put on. Also, they also help in beautifying. It's another accessory. So please, people out there, I want to encourage you that a scarf can help you both kumpeo neku accessorizing your outfit, and then rings, they beautify your hands. Sina nail polish, but you can see my hand. So that aside, njagala kubanga mbatwala maaso some other time ngatogera fashion. Don't forget, you're beautifully and wonderfully made in God's image. Ngenda kubamba introducing munango no. I'm not alone in the studios. I'm blessed to be with a gentleman who is basically dressed like, well, I was talking about the watch, So Rogers, you're most welcome in the studios today. Ngenda kuba mbagamba. We have Rogers today in the studios, and Rogers, you're very welcome in the studios. What do you think about my fashion tips, Zembadol Nakoradedo?
Well, for starters, I'm a gentleman because I have a watch. I have a belt. For starters, that is enough. Yeah. So, I think I'm a gentleman. I'm good to go. Looking at you, if I see your shoe, I'm saying, man, you're living the talk, eh? So, as gentlemen, apart from the man from Toro, who does not actually wear a belt. You'll have to improve on his style.
Regis, let me pose a question. Do you love fashion?
I wouldn't say I'm not a fashionista, but I think I love fashion.
You're not a fashionista, but do you believe that you can talk fashion however much you're not a fashionista?
I think I can, because I like to look good. Who doesn't like to look good?
Exactly.
So if I like to look good, I think I can actually talk about it. All so right. Thank you for the opportunity and for the fashion tip. That was Teaange Nabukeera, giving you updates on style and fashion. We better look good, especially in this generation. Man, if you don't look good, you're just outdated. You're probably living in the 80s, which we have moved past. So, that aside, my name is Rogers Tulyahabwe for introduction. And thank you, Teaange, for this space. And Edgar Mathew with the mighty global news updates. Now, this is the time when we talk climate change, the mighty environmental alert, in which today I want to focus on climate change. For beginners, climate change is basically the change of weather patterns over time. It's different from weather. Defining weather is like, for example, now it's sunny outside. When sunny is just a weather that is just here now, the next time it could be cloudy and then it could rain. So those are different weather whatever. But climate change is the change in the patterns in which those things occur. For example, in Uganda, if we say we have drought, for example, from around Feb, I think usually, to around May. So if we are used to the projection that in that time we're supposed to be having the drought, and then you find we're having actually more rain and floods in the time that we're supposed to be getting warmer, that is the climate change. That the projection that we usually have is actually changing and we're finding something different. Now, climate change is one of those that is defined as the crisis of our time. And it is. But it's easy for it to get lost in the story, and with politics getting in the way. Every time the problem with climate change is most of the laws that actually address those issues are global. Like you see the Nagoya Protocols, the Paris Agreements, the Rio Declaration, the post-2020 biodiversity framework, and name them, there are very many. Most of those policies are actually good so that they can actually achieve the target for which they are set. But the problem they have is in the implementation. Those countries can actually be signatory to those articles and declarations and rules, but in the implementation, it's only at the will of the country. Now, for countries like Uganda, where we have a president who's only prioritizing security and security and security, we are securing more fighter jets with people who are stranded in Bududa because of mudslides, with people in Kasese moving out of their homes because of floods. And we have a ministry, I think a department that talks about, that handles disaster preparedness, and it's technically not doing anything, but we're buying more fighter jets and those ammunitions and name them. It's so sad. If these global laws and rules were able to be implemented and there was a mechanism for implementation, maybe we would have moved a step further. Now, if you're talking about climate change, the problem is that we have seen, I think from 2018, 2019, and probably up to 2020, before the outbreak of the COVID-19, we have seen the rise of global movements, especially with the youth leading the way and using their voices to declare, that we need to address climate change. It's a generational problem. The people who are implementing it, who are causing it, are people who are living in the now generation, but they're not going to be there in the generation which is going to suffer the effects and the impacts of the actions that are being taken in right now. So those are just calling out for the governments to stand up and say, look, we have had enough, this is happening, and we need to look at it as a disaster, for what it is, because it is a disaster. Now, if you're wanting, the causes of climate change, for example, are, you see, we have what we call greenhouse effects. Now, the greenhouse effects comes because of some gases, carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, and methane, especially. Methane comes, I think, from animals, especially, from the food, especially meat, dairy products, and stuff like that. That is methane that comes. Now, the greenhouse effect is formed when these heats, these oxides and whatevers cloud it's called the ozone layer. Greenhouse gases, those gases affect the ozone layer. So the sun that the ozone that's supposed to protect us from the sun and that much heat gets affected, and that is causing more droughts. And when more droughts happen, the disasters they cause, hunger comes, famine comes, and then poverty eventually, of course. It's always a process, it's always a chain. So in addressing this, if we address the issue of implementation of laws, Uganda, we have had a climate change bill that has been passed in the recent past, I think about 3 or 4 months ago. But those rules don't actually do the purpose. We pass the laws, we talk about them, we debate, we have conferences, and we say, look, we have to do A, B, C, D, we need to counter climate change. But it stops in those dining and conference tables, and nothing actually happens on the ground. So if we want to address climate change, we need to also look at the implementation process, because it's what actually matters. Having the rules in place does not serve any purpose if they're not going to be implemented. Now, addressing climate change needs implementation strategies that are actually viable and feasible. And we say, if we're saying this is happening, we need to take this precaution to make it effective. Look at COVID-19. It has just recently happened. But look at the implementation of the curfew. Guys are beaten on the streets every now and then, and everyone is respecting that. But if we had rules and we had implementation and were serious and intentional about it, this problem would have been countered long time ago before it is even past the time that we need. Now, the other solution we have for climate change is if transitioning from fossil fuel-based gases of like petroleum and stuff like that. Now, the solution that we have as alternative is hydrogen. The problem with hydrogen is one, it is it's very effective, but it's very expensive, very, very expensive, because it needs restructuring, total change. If we have like cars that are designed in a way that they consume petroleum and those fuels, we would have to change the whole flow of, I think, the combustion engine, that it has to totally change for the flow of hydrogen to work. So that means we'd have to shift from to move aside all about 1 billion cars in the world to get new ones with a system that accommodates hydrogen as the fueling process, for fueling process and all that. So hydrogen is very effective. It's actually lighter than water. I think hydrogen is combined of, I think, 2 molecules of oxygen and water, something like that. So it's very light and almost unrecognizable, but it's very, very much effective. It does not have fumes. It does not produce any effect at all. But the issue is it's expensive. Even the equipment that it needs for transportation, for storage and stuff like that is so much expensive. But it is able to be attained because it has to be a process. So if, for example, we have a commitment and we say that every country in about 30 or so years should have reached a certain target, I think we can achieve that target because it's all about goal setting. And we say that in a period of 10 or 15 or 20 or 30 years, we should have reached at least a certain percentage of transitioning from the fossil fuels based to hydrogen and renewable energy. The only problem we have is that we have countries that don't want to commit. We have bigger countries like the US. During the Trump administration, it pulled out of the Paris Agreement, and they totally just said, look, we are not going to take this direction because we don't care. Who cares? We are progressing after all. Now, that is the problem we have because there are people that are supposed to fund these projects that have to actually transition. We have China and Russia that are not setting enough ambitious goals to transition from fossil fuel to renewable energy and the other alternatives like hydrogen. So if we have these big leagues, these big countries, the nations that have developed, without funding these processes and projects, it's going to be hard for a country like Uganda. We're already struggling with poverty and malaria and a number of those things. Now it's starting telling Kasaija, who is telling us the economy is, but we are leaving the health of the people at risk, really. You're saying we transition from addressing malaria and we say, look, we need to focus on climate change. It's almost really not viable. So, but with the funding and the support of these bigger countries that are developed, we can transition. Besides, the carbon footprint of United States and China and Russia alone is enough to affect Africa as a whole, even US as alone. So if we have US that does not want to address their carbon footprint to keep it below the said time, like the percentage, they need to address it so that it's so minimum and it does not cause those effects. So if we have those countries without the intentions of addressing those problems, the developing countries are actually going to face the problem that comes with their carbon emission and all that. So briefly, I think that is for today's environmental alert segment. We shall catch up later. We shall be expounding on a number of things and the way to address them. And we shall be learning together. And that is what we call the alternative. Here, we don't just give you the news as they come. We give you the processes. We take you process by process so that we understand and move together and live in a better society together. So keep it, the alternative. My name is Tulyahabwe. Back to the Mighty Drive and Edgar Mathew Karuhanga.
Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Hello beautiful people, you're welcome to the Snap Talk with your girl Teaange every Saturday right from 6 to 7.
It is your responsibility omwana wo kubeera mu nyumba nga teyasuze bweru mbo bamubanja rent. Koyo kulaba abalenzi abasajja abakunga. Butuufu tebabuulirirwa nga babulamu.
Towerabira nti tuli wano ku the Alternative Dig Talk. Mukwano gwange gwaliye. Topic kiri wandiyagadde twogereko. Is it about family?
You can take your time. Look for a job, stabilize, men will come, men will always be there, you will get the men. Bonna goyagala musajja yina goyagala jamufuna.
Embaga ketuuke. Bino bitu yasenga na ojabba funa.
Naye ng'oli asitudde ttu yakedde ku macabaga nti nsitudde ttu. Naye nga mubutuufu agambye nti gy'akyali. Akyali muto.
Is it outside family? Is it society? Oh, could it be relationships? Just be commenting at topic yona gyandiyagadde twogereko tujja kwa tujogera kwano ku the Alternative Dig Talk ku share enganzi the Snap Talk.
get up pretty early to go do something. We are the Alternative TikTok. With our mobile studios, we are redefining TV presentation just as technology is setting the pace. We are blending our approach with fresh, perspectively designed breakfast show, The Mighty Drive, informative and entertainment show, exclusive and live interviews.
We President Museveni wadde juzi namulaba apima akawunga kilo 2 tasobola kalya nini bwaba alya kilo 5 oyannema okuliisa eggwanga ne bwe limundekera.
Njagala kwebaza the Alternative TikTok etuwadde kano ka Mighty Drive era n'abatuwuliriza bonna abali ku mikutu njagala basaba mugendo maaso n'okuwuliriza.
All given to you just a click away on your phone, tablet, laptop and smart TVs as we are streaming live on our social media platforms, on the road and on the go. We are the Alternative TikTok.
The Alternative TikTok. Real issues, real talk.
Minutes to 8 a.m. as we are coming to the next hour of the show. Thank you so much, Teddy Tenjo and Rogers Tulyahabwe for those really insightful talks. And I was wondering here, Teddy Tenjo talked about the belt and the watch. I think I don't even have a watch on me. But then for me, I follow the Englishmen. I'm a real critic of the Englishmen. How the English wear, and the English, it's not mandatory in their fashion for you to wear belts or put on watches. But abangereza becha we baba chikola, you'll always find him hizo kuwe suti ya blue nga ya kawinyo na lokateka kenga tonga ya yellow. There's always that one thing that has to miss out. You don't have to completely be there, but that is not for me to say that is a personal ideology as Edgar Mathew Karuhanga, but you have your own ideology. Like Teddy Tenjo told you, a real gentleman, you have to be having a watch, a belt, and that's also an accessory. I didn't know.
Any of the two?
I don't have any of the two. That's why I'm saying for me, I'm English. I follow the English style. The second I completely smart square kaza. And Rogers started to talk about politics, and I was like, hey, this gentleman should be here, the Mighty Drive, and we talk about these things, because there's how he was blending them together. And when you looked at the environment, activism, then later curfew, how it's implemented, why don't we protect the environment as the way we protect the curfew hours? But that is not mine to say. I'm with the glamorous Omumbejja, Luwedde, Lilian. Welcome. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Let me be a gentleman and say, welcome to the show. It's lovely to see you. I'm happy to see you. And what is happening in your life?
All is well.
All is well. Go summarizing the answers. And then she gives you an answer.
Well.
Okay. So take us to the next segment of the Mighty Drive. Let's go.
My God. Thank you very much, Edgar. Other training stories is what is happening.
By the way, jisusse.
Other trending stories is what they were in the month of June. Gwatandika na sad news. Gwatandika ku assassination ya General Katumba Amalo mwafiira muwala we awamu ne driver we. So ebintu bingi bibaddewo mu mwezi gwa June. Twalaba abana kibiina kya National Unity Platform abateebwa abaali bamaze emyezi 6 mu komera. Tulabye COVID-19 yeeyongedde nnyo mu mwezi guno ogwa June. Tugenzo ate tubadde tukyali awo ne tulaba ate over 800 people bakubwa eddagala lya COVID-19.
Fake jabs.
Twebuuza lino lyava wa byatuuka bitya waneeno. I mean, bibadde bingi gyebeddewo mu mwezi ogwa June. Yes, naye nga financial year etandika lunaku lwa leero, right?
Yes, today.
Naye nga kisinza okutweraliikiriza era tuwanisa emitima, it's the 12% tax. 12% tax eno kwe kuba nti otaddeko data 100 MBs ne basalako
12%. Ziba 12.
Ya ne basalako MBs 12 ababadde batakimanyi mu ya 12% tax kwe
kwa. Ngawolabe ekimu ky'ekkumi we kibeera. Nti bw'ofuna 10 olina owaayo omutwalo kyo kiba 10%. Anti kati waliwo ayagala ekimu ky'ekkumi ye factor tayagala na kimu kya 10 because ekimu ky'ekkumi yasukka ne mu kimu eky'ekkumi na bibiri.
Okay, eky'ekkumi na bibiri. It's the tax again eyaze nga bajjewo OTT tax. OTT yabadde akoma yesterday naye ng'olunaku luno olwaleero 12% tax return. Actually, that's a
because it's a new financial year.
Yeah, it's a new financial year. Uganda nyongera okukikuddiramu nti kwe kuba nti oguze 100 MBs then ne basalako MBs 12 ku buli data gwogula oba oguze data yenkana oba olunako oguze MBs katugeze oba oguze 1 GB naye nga togiguze at once oba n'ogula 100 MBs ne basalako 12%. Nodamu n'ogula 300 MBs naye ne basalako 12%. Kyekyo ekyo Munnayuganda kyolina okumanya nti gwe guno omusolo munnange ogwazzeewo mpya but I think oba lwakuba abantu babadde tebajjumbidde nnyo kukozesa OTT ensonga lwaki batutaddeko this tax sikitegeera butegeera
anti kye bakiyita tax evasion oluusi tekibeeramu musa si musango okuba nga evading is the crime but avoiding it is not a crime. Kati batuse the government of Uganda yatuse ngeraba tekikyali feasible like ssente zibali expecting okufuna mu OTT.
Yes, nga tunabagenda kukuze bali expecting zalinga zituukirawa.
Sali zituuka nzijuga bali bagamba office of the prime minister. Yes, OTT tax adagenda mu office of the prime minister kyebadde manyi. Ate badde bakola because they've been collecting over billions of money in terms of OTT.
Olubana basasula omwaka ng'oli yasasula OTT wa mwaka.
Kati ekyo kye tulina kati okutunulamu ne twogerako kati banamulifandinga
for example
zali mukaaga 7,300 ya 73,000
tubanga ndasasula gumu kanaana za myezi 3 kino kindeka waba nanziriza ssente zange oba
anti kati
oba banazimpamu ddala
ye ebintu oluusi bye tukola
Airtel naye surprising netwayo ka offer nakugambe tugenda kasasula naye ate si musango gwaffe
anti musango gwa mukonshu
si musango gwaffe okuba nti ffe twasanga byabwerere manyi ekitegeeza okuteekako
anti the problem with Africans and Ugandans you like free things ekyo wawulira General Zamba mu kayimba ke yagamba the best things in life are always free kwegamba na Uganda bo balowooza buli kintu kinabeera kyabwerere but before even
mbanyino kikozesa
anti
abo kiba bwekiri
anti kati nawe wakikozesa be ready okukisasula
si musango gwange si musango gwange no si musango gwange okuba nti mu system zammwe zaafuna obuzibu zineefuniramu ku bwereere
anti kati bo tebagenda kukkiriza loss tebagenda kukkiriza mu kukola loss
singa tebagala kukkiriza loss balisoose kutereeza balisoose kukugira
but you know this has Airtel child kibaddeko of recent emabika keera waliwo ekyaba mu Airtel Uganda we twalabanga era waliwo time yatuuka oba ne batandika okufuna ne batandika okusindika abantu nga bafuna oba Airtime oba data nga receiving ya kubwerere things like that so zikineebuuza naye Airtel ye yazze natugamba wano okutubuulira what actually happened because as consumers we need to know is our data safe because Airtel Uganda has our national IDs they have our NIN numbers is actually what happened to the system of shutting it down buli kimu nekitandika okubanga kiri free they did not give us because that is the problem we are in a society where we are not Ugandans are not fully accountable and by the way topic I give you because it's not only the OTT tax that is in the new tax laws in the new financial year baleta emisolo mingi okujja kati ogwasinze okuluma bannayuganda gwe guno because guba gufiringa direct kyogenda gusasula direct nyingi mu motoka waliwo gold waliwo ennuni exportation y'ennuni bakitadde ku dollars 2
ennuni yekyalabika
ennuni abachina bagenda kumpi ne bagimalayo mu nnyanja era nayo teriyo nnyo kiryawo tutunulamu because ennuni nasimanya na vali y'ennuni eno
kyekiviiriddeko ndoza n'ebbeeyi y'ebyennyanja okulinnya ekyennyanja
ekyennyanja
bwemba muli famire y'abantu nga musa 7 kitegeeza mu ogula ebyennyanja bibiri
essaawa zino ani agenda okugula ekyennyanja nga bakuwadde emitwalo 10 gyanakwana
waliwo abasobola
by the way there is always the elite class. Yes, there's always the elite class. Tulemera gambuno buli omwali
yensonga lwaki abamu bagenda kufuna emitwalo 10 abalala tebagenda kufuna
ate bajja kusigala nga balamu n'abatagenda kufuna
walabyeko abakola mu banka nti bali ku listi y'abantu abagenda okufuna emitwalo 10
teri kufuna emitwalo 10 oba okola mu banki. That is very true. Uganda ffe bannamawulire tebaatulowoozezaako okutuwa ku kamere
ate nga waliwo abatakyakola yes webanga company nene waliwo abasajja
but every company has been affected by the bizarre effects of COVID-19.
buli muna Uganda abadde
yetaaga okufunayo ka sente. Yes, ate n'emitwalo 10 najo nze ndaba nazo sente tebannaba ku addressinga the challenge. Otugabogera tuwa emitwalo 10 olinga atujjamu obujji okitegeera like nga wonaga nze nkujjeemu gwe kwate ku mitema
anti ligenda funiwako abantu babale sibonna
naye kati in fact okay katsoka tutunulemu mayimu tuli mukwogera ku mitwalo 10 bannayuganda gye bagenda okufuna soka tutunulemu ejo emitwalo 10 gya mmere bagambye gya mmere yokka baatubalidde ne batugamba akawunga kilo 2 mitwalo 4 ne batulayo ebijanjalo kilo meka zaade 10 oba za mitwalo 2 kitundu then ne batwala sabuni wa 3
sabuni tokula kuno mto ogwebbe
anti ogula kwa 3 baidi ogusinga laisi kwa 3 waleme kutubera
ogula sabuni wa blue
white star kati yali kwenye 5 ono wafu ogamba wa blue ne ye brown omanyize kwenkoze so mpoze wamwe yenze wange jengula kwanze kwenkoze sogo gwankumi yes asatu nagamba akadomola ka butto ka 5 liter
anti kati olaba sabuni oyo bwemba muli bakoza mwozi omulundi gumu mu wiki mukunganya engoye mukwata ekitole kimu ne kibamu
nate kati oyoza biki osiba waka njeka
okyusa engoye na daily basis
toba okyusiza kingo oli waka tuva waka tubona bango okyusamu engoye ezimu zisitagenda kwogera kumpewo naye nga tugenda kukyusa ngoye buli saa t-shirt oli waka osibye webasa osibye otunula osibye otuddola ba filimu okolaki
yenno webiga kubana abalina TV ezokusasulira
kati aba TV oba osasula ki kusazi n'osasula
ne rent nga tebamwogeddeko
kati kyekyo besi kyeyayogeddeko n'agamba ne rent nga tetunamwogerako amanda aganafumba emmere n'ogati tunagoogerako go nga tetunayogera ku bintu webityo. Why don't we come out and talk about this
things? Tukomye ku mutwalo
6 wasigaddewo ebiri ziri 8 obale wamu giba 8 then wasigalawo kusigalako ebiri
ndakyokola ofumba ebijanjalo ebya kilo eziwerako so that every day mutokosako sikufumbira ddala mutokosako kuba kati bwe bituuse bintu
bya surviving
as long as ofunye kyoteka mu mutwe yes oba ofumba ebijanjalo bifumba omulundi gumu manye nti agamanda ogawadde ogafumba omulundi gumu bisiike kere ncha tokosako mulieko noludako otokoseeko mulieko okutokosaako otwala amanda matono nyo okusinga afumbye asazeewo okubifumba byonna
nga engeri gyoyogeddemu wekyo naye nze kyentunulamu I'm looking at the implementation of this tax policy of that money batugambye first of all batandise registeringa kati
already next week
otutunulamu
next week on Monday bajja kuba maliriza
kati soka tutunulemu omanyi already lockdown yakatambulako weeks 2. That means utuwa tuina weeks that means tuina ennaku nga 3 roughly. Yes, tuina omwezi gumu. Kati bagambye bagenda kutandika kuregisteringa abantu abayitaga sente. Ebya Uganda tubimanyi. Kino kigenda tuwa ennaku endala nga 10.
No bagamba batandika do kuregister.
Nze nkuwe kati list eri wangati banagitulaga. Batugambe ejjo mbuno batandise registeringa.
Mwabo muli wa taxi drivers abasaluni bani bakondakita abayite motoka.
Simanyi nange nange kyekyo kyenneebuuza simanyi nange gye bakikozeemu naye nze kati mbalamu ennaku 10 nga bali mu kuregisteringa kati oba bali mu kuregisteringa ennaku 10 ezo ziweddeko that means tuli mu 10th of July let's say then ate kati okuddayo okulaba amanya okugaziza mu gavumenti okutandika okusupplyinga sente ekyo kigenda kutwala ennaku endala mmeka
nze nebuuziza banamanya batya nti nze nkola mu katale ka mubuulo
anti kati ebyo byonna tetunaba na kubyogerako n'okubyogerako ebyo naye kati kyendi mu kutunulamu ogambye ekisooka ezinnaku kati ogenda otandika osupplyinga abantu okufuna sente ezo
ngebule
ennaku nnya lockdown ekole ki eggweko kati bali mu kulya ki essaawa zino omanyi bino ebintu olwo ebintu betulina weba emergency ekintu okikwatanga emergency ogamba ogenda kuyamba muntu akola emmere ya leero
ebintu ebingi ebyaweebwayo nga tetwabi
no Dr. Twine yagambye mbu ebintu bana ebibaawo abannayuganda bikyaliwo. That is the first thing. Nagamba 20 yasose
njagala tugende mpola mpola omwaka mulamba ffena akyaliwo.
Nze yayogedde ku bintu biri commodities ne logistics yayogedde ku nsimbi n'agambye ssente ze bacollectinga mu lockdown ewedde zaali 29 billion. Mu 29 billion ze bacollectinga zikyaliwo ziri ku account. Emmotoka osimanyi gye zaalaga ezo bya Uganda obitegeera naye nze kineebuuza by the way
because bwe baagabanga emmere batuwanga kawunga nalaba bawaayo ne ku muceeri baani abafu Bambejja ki n'abalangira ki abafuna
apparently by then babiwa balwadde bebaali bafuna
n'amagi gaweebwayo
ebyali byabalwadde n'amata mbere b'abalwadde ebyo byasinga mu oba tewabifuna binsi wali togwa mu kategore y'abalwadde waliwo abaali babyetaaga anti the problem is bannayuganda mwamanyira nnyo mistrust omanyi omuntu waba okigeze ng'olina omusajjawo nga bulijjo akwendako ne waba tayenza ojja lowooza ayenda so that is how Ugandans are nti gavumenti ebalimbye nnyo naye bagamba amazima they think they're actually lying kyebala Dr. Twine yavuddeyo ng'ali frustrated olaba engeri yadayogeramu ngalaga you know what we're telling you the truth every time you mistrust us you think no, that's the truth but that's the reality
because
that's kyendi mulange kyendi mugamba kyomulazeeko
lwaki bannayuganda tebasobola kubeesiga because twawulira already bavuddeyo bali ku COVID-19 task force baba questioning about the money and then ebintu ebyali biweereddwayo netuwulira mbu ate byalimu n'enguzi kuganda nebitubuzaabuza yensonga lwaki bannayuganda
tebasobola kati n'emitwalo gino 10 tebanagitugamba zivuddewa kikisooka because as we need
Minister Mathew Kasajja yagamye beewoze ku financial ya naddako obukadde busoba mu 6 okuyambako mu kulwanyisa kino ekirwadde ki COVID-19
ate kati babawadde ssente IMF yafulumiza $1 billion that is 3.5 trillion for COVID just
bakyetaaga ssente.
That is Uganda for you. Ye Uganda bwetyo bwebeera. Naye nze ntunudde mumbu kati oboze kuyamba muntu ali mu kufa saawa zino. Waba wakuyamba kati teyafudde dda waba wakufa. Because bagambye because I have friends by the way personally. Olaba abantu nga tukola sente nga tukola za kulya leero like nga utakoze tugenda
abataxi
bali abatakoze bo bali kuki and they already dead. Government omanyi tulekera okola bintu nga tujejjako bwejja. Let us do something you're doing it to serve people because the people you're not even actually helping them. Obantu ompuli abagamba muno bali mukubayamba babawe emitwalo 10 that is not help. Tibali mukuyamba.
It's what the government has
yes because you are a taxpayer osasula sente zo omusolo ogusasula oli munna Uganda osasula omusolo obeera mu ggwanga lino. That means they are responsible. You give oba olonda government oba olonda bakulembeze. You give to our powers to run to manage our resources, to run our country on our behalf. It does not mean it's theirs. That's why chovola ba minister abasinga mu kalulu akagwa bagwa ne bakomawo nti babalaga abantu nti no fa babalimusa muyimukirya kufe. We need to bring Uganda has to come back to a drawing board where we talk about issues like these ones and netwogera about service delivery. Tuleke kwogera omanyi these people like to exaggerate ebintu bibakoze ebirungi but they like to downplay the mistakes they've done. Nti wakola akasobira abantu bete banafuna katika onga tukyabakolako like it's something normal but then lwaki oli akoze mistake nga tasasude lwaki bamusibawo there and then
tebakyesiga bantu bano. Look at amawulire agakafuluma aga over 800 people abakubibwa fake COVID-19 jab. I mean, what does this mean? Tutandika okweyalika nti eddagala effu eriri katale likyali lingi National Drug Authority ekola ki?
Kati NDA yavudde n'adenda ba spokesperson waabwe omwami oyo ng'ayogera mbu ekisooka tebanakakasa teria like bino ebigambo ebisinga bibungesebwa naye there's always imanyi in communication n'olugambo lubeera ne basis waliwo gye luba luvodde so waliwo root cause yakyo tebanagitugamba naye tukya speculating assaawa zino tetukakasa whether they were fake jabs. How did they even know that they were fake jabs? Abasinga bagamba gaali mazzi nga mineral water waliwo yakyutaddeko ekyo naye ekyo sikakasa so katusooke tulindeko NDA eveeyo bakole research ali fully fledged tukakase abantu baali actually baba waffe
but wekinavaayo nga kituufu kino kinaaba kitegeeza ki
ye Uganda nze tekini surprising. By the way, for me, if you're Ugandan, it's not surprising.
Nze ndowooza nti wekinaba kivuddeyo nga it's true nga kikonfamingiddwa nti it's true bakuwa fake job kigenda leeta bannayuganda bangi nnyo okulema okugenda okwegemesa ekirwadde ki COVID-19.
Nakyo kisoboka naye ate kati balina okwegema balina okukkiriza bukkiriza ne beesiga abantu
bwe bakuba amafuta
oba bakuba ki kati gwe weesige bwesizibwaki togenda kusobola kutambula nga toli vaccinated kyekisooka tugenda kutuuka omanyi kati tutunula mu maaso ogenda kutuuka nga tosobola kufuluma ggwanga lino nga toli vaccinated tosobola kufuna na mulimu gw'amagezi nga toli vaccinated
not even tugenda kutuuka already weekiri
kati tosobola kufuluma nga toli vaccinated kati ebintu ebityo ojja kwetaaga okwesiga gavumenti oba oyagala oba toyagala munnayuganda ndaba wano olina kwesiga gavumenti you have to trust them oba batukubye fake things ffe tulina kukkiriza because they are the ones responsible kati onaddukirawa Government obo jidduse onaddukirawa ate kyenjaga okujjukiza abatulaba nti osobola otukubirako essimu ejja kuba scrollinga ku screen yawo osobola okugiraba ojja kuba osobola otukubira essimu nawe osooka otubulya ekikyolowooza ku bintu bino bye tuli mu kwogerako waka twogera ku stories ezisinza okuba nga zitrendinga mu mwezi ogwa June
so enamba y'essimu eni 0789017145 0789017145 enamba ya studios yosobola okuba ekibuuzo kyo munnanga ate nobeeranga oddibwamu bulungi nnyo nnyini ddala lockdown ey'okubiringa naye ejja
era gye tuli mu kwogerako essaawa zino eyo lockdown kyeri mu kutukola
gye tulimu actually eyatandika naye anti kati etubuzaabuza basooka ne batuwa ennaku 42 naye baali basibyeko abantu ababali
yasooka
ennaku 14-12 ne batuza nnaku ya mu ndala ya 42 days ne twebuuza eri esooka kugwako tutandike eno oba olwedde tulimu
oli yabagamba oli yakosa akantu kenasinga okwagala yagamba nti ojukaye twali mu ssomero nga omusomesa agamba okwatayo sijibala kati twakwatayo biri tebaabala biri tebaabala so twatandika lockdown empya
this lockdown ina effects z'amaanyi nnyo nnyini ddala bwe tuba tutunuulidde the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic spread yeeyongedde nnyo I think ensonga lwaki batuteeka mu lockdown but nze ndowooza nti bagenda otuteekayo nga tebatuplaningidde kimala tebatuplanningira kibala bwobanga saawa zino osobola okulaba nti enamba y'ebitanda teyeeyongera wagambye 200 and
that's a fact we have
200
eggwanga erya Uganda lina ebitanda ebya intensive care unit biri 218
280
eggwanga erya Uganda
but population eri 40 is it 41M according to both reports
45 million Ugandans tuli abantu milioni 45 tulina ebitanda
41
nze nkubire amazima they've just concluded the census ewedde there are 45 million Ugandans approximately because we baba bala abantu be batabaliya manyi obaba bakola census babala unit they don't count like person per person so they just estimate naye olaba the rough estimation of Ugandans bali 45 million kati abantu naye baba milioni 4 but abantu milioni zino zonna
tetuweza na bitanda 1M
tulina ebitanda 218 beds ICU beds manyi bannayuganda bino ebintu tubyogerako kiringa omuntu wakugamba mbuno babbye bilioni 3 goyinza obutategera bilioni 3 byeki naye njagala osooka obale nze njagala obale nti omutwalo gumu gulimu obw'olukumi naye kati aka milioni emwe erimu obw'olukumi meka si 10 kati milioni 10 zilimu obw'omutwalo meka sorry tugambe milioni emwe ino obw'omutwalo meka njagala tusooka omanyi wokiteekawo kati n'omugamba wenkugamba mbuno oli yabbye obuwumbi 3 ekitegeeza ababbye omutwalo oba omutwalo emitwalo 3 emitwalo 3 simanyi oba 3 naye nze njagala kali nendoza 3 because 3 times 10,000 yes aba abbe obw'omutwalo emitwalo 3
so ebitanda bye tulina
kati badde kuwa just example kati njagala omanye nti abantu muli milioni 45 naye ebitanda ebya ICU biri ebitanda 218 kyova kati oba tolina ssente ogenda kufa ekyo nja kiko era nakibagamba last week oba tolina ssente ogenda kufa oli agenda kugamba leeta
miliyoni nnya nga oba tozina omulwadde
nekitanda tebakimuwa ekirina ekirina mu ICU bagamba kati miliyoni 8 kati kuziba miliyoni 8 mu ICU bw'oba tolina ssente that means that is per day miliyoni 8 per day 24 hours zoli ku kitanda ekyo ate woonayeyogeza mbugo tolina ssente biki nga gwogenda waliwo omulala akyetaaga ekitanda ekyo ng'ate ne ssente azirina
naye ali bubi nnyo ekitanda akyetaaga
kati ennaku zino we bagambira mbu noomanyi oba kati we tuli wano buli omu agumye munne abagenda okufa bagenda kufa abagenda okubeera balamu bagenda kubeera balamu saawa zino ekyobugagga kyolina kyensinga njogera wano buli lunaku nti ekyobugagga kyolina bwe bulamu bwo okuba ng'osobola okukeera ng'oli mulamu ng'oyimiridde ng'osobola okufuna ekintu ekyoteeka mu lubuto osobola okwebaka enkuba n'etakkuba oba n'obeera n'otabeera mu mpewo siima mukama yisa engalo mu maaso ogambe alhamdulillah kuba kati imagine abo abantu abali saawa zina bali mu mamotoka gaabwe nga bafa covid-19 nga bali ku oxygen abali ku intensive care unit beds ezo abatasobola na kuza accessinga abantu abakutukira mu mayumba gaabwe abo bonna gye bali eyo bannayuganda bwe weesuneko
oba twalagajjalamuko okwetegekera ekirwadde kino because bagenda okulangirira lockdown ng'ekintu kimaze okuwaseninga embeera emaze okuva obudde bumaze okudda ku bunnaabwe
netutandika kati kusaba
because twali mu kalulu nga covid-19 tayogerwako tuva mu kalulu covid-19 saawa zino kati ayogerwako akalulu kamaze okuggwa bamaze okulonda speaker ndoza ne cabinet. That's when COVID-19.
Olaba interest where that is when you see where the interest is. Like where the priorities are of some things, some people. So COVID-19 has never been a priority to Ugandans. Okay. But chajanga cheka. But it has never been prioritized.
India bazika every day.
Nadenda bo recent. Nadenda we mabega kao twafunye nabe India bambi waliwo omuyago ogwaze waabwe ne unfoldinga ettaka. Banne balaza abantu bali bazika wa COVID-19. Wali babaziika bonna bonna ade bafa. Nga wonna wawanvu ng'emirambo gyonna gyazze kungulu kumpi. So ekyo kyekiraga COVID-19 engeri gy'abadalumamba na Uganda naye wano mu Uganda tuwadde tukitwala nga kyamuzannyo nga tutwala ebintu ebisinga
nga batugamba yambala mask olinda bakuba kibooko
nze ekizibu sigenda ze kiteeka ku bantu no nze ekizibu nkiteeka ku bantu babatwala amanyi abantu bano bannayuganda
olaba Edgar most of the times nkizayo wali bwe tunalindanga gavumenti etukolera ebintu ebisinga fefe nyinyi tugenda kwesuula mu buzibu I mean kibadde nga kitwala kyo kwambala mask era obeerawo n'olinda omubaka wa kugavumenti yambala mask
Look at the thing is, atekati we are looking at the symptoms from I'm looking at the disease itself. Nti ebyo byonna omanyi saazi no yambala mask oba tojambadde covid ogenda mufuna ba mufuna bano omuwonako. So this is like a flu. Nti amulwadde wakwata wano nawe n'okwata wano oba ogenda kasanga waka okataka okakatwala more than 24 hours nga kakyali awo kugamba ntegeeza ki nti it was not avoidable. Nti era ne chovala kiza besije bali bakajja yagamba mbuno buli agenda kulala covid-19 awone abantu ne bamuvuma lwaki you are being a prophet of doom but for him he saw it as a medical expert as a doctor yinga yakirabye dambu now this is a flu everybody let's look at how we prevent the flu than acquiring the flu because it's inevitable everybody is going to acquire the flu kati nze kyendi mu kutunula kombo this was a chronic this ka flu katambula ekyo kyali kino okubeerawo. Why don't we look at how we prevent or actually how we cure it and how we avoid it okubanga tumalo tukalwanisenga kwa akawuka tukakoleki tukateeke wali ate abantu abalina policies ezisobola abantu abasobola okukola ekyo ekintu be baali aba gavumenti siyoka but government kyeri mukola anti kyekyo naye kati omuntu ye agenda kugezaako okwekuuma nga ye omuntu neera kagenda mala kamukwate kati ate we kamukwate abajja wo kyovula bajja mu malwaliro kyovula surgeries nyingi ate nti sinti kali not treatable. The problem with COVID-19 is that you get sick in many numbers. abantu badde balwalanga mu Uganda yes balina ebirwadde byabwe kansa balina AIDS balina ki nga bagenda mu ddwaliro naye nga you have the hospitals Ugandan hospitals have never got an overwhelm an overwhelmment eyo gamba mbuno abantu bajidde bangi ku mulundi gumu bonna nga balwadde ekyo kiwalete tukirabangako kati ate ebeera edda ku responsibility ya government nga yo nti kati abantu bazze bonna balwadde mulundi gumu do we have the most adequate policies or the most adequate logistics okutreating abantu yes abantu badde bekwasa nga bagamba abazungu nabo nga bakalwala bafa nnyo yes naye abazungu bakulaga nti at least ko bategekera ekintu ekiwadde nti yes bafa naye ate bategekako
first wave yabagwamu nga tebategedde nnyo naye second wave
right now wetwogera it is 1 year ngenda kubalya 1 year like this bakusobodde okuwanga ba vaccinated wetwogera Hungary 100% of the people are vaccinated. Chovala lala ompira gwa Hungary ne Portugal. Ngekisaawe kirimu abantu emitwalo 7 full to capacity. Teri ayambadde mask no.
Bali vaccinated. Nante mu Uganda ekyalemesa abantu okubeera vaccinated kwe kutugamba nti emitwalo 2 ej'okugema ate bagemako abakadde.
Tebasaba nko sente just batugamba bagenda kutuleetera bagenda tugema naye bagenda sooka n'abakadde.
Abakadde.
Okuva batandika bagema abakadde baliwa be bakagema. Uganda ekugambye yakagema abantu emitwalo 8. Uganda ina abantu bameka
abukadana plus
kati kyenkugamba mu budde ki
no batugamba bagenda kola ki bagenda kugema ka abakadde bagenda kugema ba frontline workers
time frame ki
babisati ne tusoka tusigale bba
ekyo tetuganye ekyo tukiganye na fera tukyayimiridde time frame
antu kyalize bakadde bagwe tebatugamba nganti balekerawo okugema abakadde
kati anti kyekizibu ekisooka bali mugamba abantu emitwalo 8 bebakavugema bebabakadde bebakagema omulamba n'ekitundu
zenyini eziriwo tezimala
kugamba kati tugambani ani bwe tugenda okusaba
already eddagala batuwappe
anti kati kansooka enkubalire omanyi munseza Uganda batugamba mbuno bagenda procuringa sente ze parliament zeyayisa eza COVID-19 omwaka ogwedde nga yakajja COVID-19 bayisa sente ezogula milioni 18 za doses za vaccine ziliwa milioni 18 because fwe twabala parliament yayisa sente mu April omwaka ogwedde ngeyisiza milioni dose okugula milioni 18 za doses zigenda okukola ku bantu milioni 9 nga balaze by the end of the last year bajja kuba bagezbyenka abantu milioni 9 ngamba mu milioni 9 bali bagaye mugenda bera mba health workers mugenda bera mba elderly mwina n'abantu abalala naye just by underlying conditions which was a feasible plan because wolaba nti wabagamba in the first year yoka that first wave we bali singa bagema abantu milioni 9 kyali badde kikola more sense nti ogemya abantu milioni 9 wasigaddeyo milioni meka roughly milioni nga 3 milioni 3 zisigaddeyo ezisinga bavubuka nti abosobola nabo okukola ki okufuna kuba bali batugamba bagenda kufuna in bunches bafuna milioni 18 doses ezisooka bafuna milioni 18 endala bageme abantu milioni 16 that means half of the population kumpi approximately egenda kuba egemeddwa half of the population webegemeddwa you're free to work because half of the population have been vaccinated and in the due course they would also vaccinate the other people weba United States ina abantu kale tetugenda kubala United States the superpower baina milioni 325 utuogerera bamaze 80% y'abantu bagema mu mwaka gumu bakulaga mbuno we are working towards a solution
eddagala libe bali ekolera fonte tunatandika kwekolera ddagala
it is okay ne tuba tunatandika kwekolera ddagala katukwekumberinge ku Kenya munaffe wanfe Kenya munaffe wana atulio
Kenya yagenda mu second wave nga ffe tukyali
bameka
tukyali tetunabana
why are we actually that means we were more lucky we were given time to prepare for the COVID-19
but we didn't prepare.
And then when you talk about these things, they say you're partisan. You have a side. What side? COVID-19 wabaze. How many people have died? Yazenge chima NRM. Yazenge chima FDC. Yazenge chima NUP.
Mkulembeze agambe tebatufaako.
Ani mkulembeze echi?
Mkulembeze w'eggwanga. World Health Summit.
Tebatufaako. Ani agenda okufaako?
Bali tebatufaako. I mean tuli bafirika naye
tukuwadde sente ofune ofune vaccine ziriwa sente z'Abannayuganda
tebakyakiriza
kyembuuza sente z'Abannayuganda ziriwa teziriiwo because kale before the export million omwenda zaalagawa doozi
anti-corruption unit ekyakola ku kunoonyereza kwa sente ezo
kati gwandaba ng'oŋŋamba mbuno obuzibu mbuteeke kufa abantu lwaki siteeka responsibility ku batukulembera because these things they have to know them omanyi for me I'm talking when people abantu abasinga kyekyo ngenda kwambala masiki yange naye ati waliwo oli mama wange omukadde sawa zino nga newayambala masiki nga kamuteeka wansi
nti embeera si nnungi tulekeraawo n'okukyalira bakadde
people are dying in their homes sawa zino nkedde nga nzija wano ku show mpize wali neiba wange mpise ku nnyimba ebbiri abantu wali mu kufa bufi bantu babiri maka abiri ng'erimu liri wano waliwo afuddemu ne wali afuddemu tebamanyi nange gye bagenda kuvuga muntu kumutwala Masaka kumuziika tebamanyi ennaku zino pickup ogitwala Masaka ongeeyitute omulambo tekomawo okujja ko ng'oli wa funeral service kati wa funeral service bannayuganda bameka basobola okusasula millioni za funeral service ezo bameka omanyi tube mu bintu bino ebyokutunula nga tutunulya general point of view nga when you want to see the problems people are facing, go on an individual basis. Chovula ffe bannamawulire tutegeera abantu bye bayitamu tubeera mu bantu. Government ya Uganda, the people responsible, come back to where it all started. Mukomewo mu bantu, mumanye things. Muleke kola bintu. Tubula kola feasibility. Kuvadda si sawa zino. Executive kuvadda yesalira eggwanga.
But we have the judiciary and then the legislature.
Power play.
Mpozi legislature liwa tugamba nti bagenda
bagenda mu batadde committees obugenda okubanga bulondoola ensonga naye nze ekyo si kyentunula ku saa zino I'm looking at service delivery for an ordinary Ugandan. Tuleme kukola bintu nga tufa ku bantu abamu abasekinnoomu kyobula ne Louis Ronga yakyayogedde nze I don't agree with it in that narrative naye sagala kwogeramu naye nga Louis Ronga yayogedde ekintu ekituufu eno covid eze kati eyingidde nemba elites abadde balowooza nti bo bayinamuko beesinze okunyiga si beetuuseeyo beesinze okunyiga wowetegereza abantu bano abawansi tebanyize nnyo era wootuna bo bakaba enjala yebaluma kozi ayinza okubatta enjala yinza okubatta naye abantu omuntu owa bulijjo ono tesinze kukola ki temunyize nnyo ekimyabo ne bali era betusinze okuwulira abo ne bali abalina milioni zaabwe naye nga tezikyasobola kubayamba
tezisobola okukola kusasula biiri ya ddwaliro ne bafulumya omulambo ne bagutwala ne baguziika
waliwo oli yagendayo bambi ne bamusaba milioni 126 ng'ate amaze n'okufa famire negamba kiki kino kyemuntu nga omuntu afudde amaze
ate omulambo ne bagusigaza nange ebintu byakyukira ddala
kyekikulaze mbu kati nabo bawuliddemu nti nno gavumenti omanyi bo si nti babeera partisan balina gavumenti no elites balina gavumenti tebeefiirayo nti bagamba bali be baluma bali be nze nsobola osasula otiti emitwalo 7,113 omwaka zinnema n'akasasula wali negamba nze nsobola okutwala omwana wange mu private school ya milioni 2
era namutwalayo n'asoma
that is nothing kati covid naye najja n'agamba
naye nga tuvuddeko ku nsonga ya covid-19 Jacob Zuma yaliko president w'eggwanga lya South Africa
that man just makes me laugh nze Jacob Zuma asesa
emyezi 15 ensonga za corruption
tebannamusalira kwa corruption wetwogerera omusango gwe bamusalidde he's corrupt his government has been tenure ye he was more of a corrupt tenure nti South Africa mu time ya Jacob Zuma we yasinga okulabira obukenuzi obutalabikangako obubbi obwali mu South Africa by the time of Jacob Zuma and it was orchestrated by him at the head of it as head of state yali chief corruptor nti yali omubbi akulembera naye kati ate bamusibidde ekyo kyebamusibidde kubanga contempt of court yamuyita nga akyali president n'agaana okujja kati bamaze okumwambula ebitiibwa bamukimyeko so
naye abakulembeze b'Afrika tufunamu ekyokuyiga bwe tulaba ebintu nga bino
kyembuuza kwanze siri mukulembeze okibuuza abo abalaba mwe abakulembeze b'Afrika bino ebintu mubiyigamu nti ekyo kyekiri mukulaga nti ebintu bino si byana things don't how should I ebintu tebibeeranga wolowooza buli ssaawa. Not everything will always remain the same. There is a time when you are in power, there is a time when you are out of power. Kolere at that time when you are out of power. Abantu banakujo. People like a lot of material wealth. How will you be remembered by society? Chembuze echo. How will you be remembered by society at the end of the day? Gwantunulire sawa zinali mukundaba. Ngomaze emirimu jojo no it's like a curve. Zinawa example ya Gigi Buffon. Nabawa curve ya Gigi Buffon. Gigi Buffon is one of the most prolific football players of all time. He was a goalkeeper. Akwatide Italy ya juwangulide buli kikopo kujja kecha Champions League. Naye yatandikanga mwana muto. Natandikira mu ggwanga erya Pama. Nabeera nga muvubuka nakwata omupiira, nagenda mu Juventus, nagenda mu timu ya PSG, kwegamba nazimba, nawangula World Cup ne Italy, nakola byonna. Weyamala emyaka gye, kweje atisiko nkuze mulaba. Emyaka gyasambidde omupiira bwegiti. Naka azeeyo mu Pama wansi. Gye yatandikira. Ate nga Pama gyazeemu yava ne mu kibinja kisooka yadda ne mu kibinja kya wansi. Nti circle of life bwetyo bweri. Abantu kyekibalemye okulaba nti tukula nga tuli bato ne tufuuka abasajja kati nga time gye tuliko ne tutandika okuyiiya ne tukola ne tutuukayo ate we tutuuka eri waggulu ate ne tudda wansi. Kyobola omuntu omukulu abeeranga baby kati gwe bali kujjukirako ki mu time yo Bwali omukulembezi wajja oli munaku ofuuse kati oyingide office ogeze
okoze example as mu banga lino litwa litali ya banga lya mwaka nga gumo example je tuchaye nawo yeyo mugenzi Pombe Magufuli yali president w'eggwanga lya
ate Pombe at least ko
yafa but abantu basigala boogera ku bikibi yakola
mu myaka
yali mukulembeze yakola kino na kino
in 5 years kyowulaba Yesu yaweereza emyaka 3 active service ya Yesu yali 3 years. Jesus Christ.
In Africa abantu abambala banti corruption is part of life. Abamba chwala nti yes corruption is part of life.
We have normalized things like that. Things that are abnormal, we are making them feel normal. When do we come to a consensus where we start nze personally umanyi everything starts with you. For me, I've decided as an individual, Edgar Mathew Karuhanga, I will talk about these things. I'm not going to normalize something that is abnormal. Until our society gambia corruption is normal. I will never normalize corruption. I will still talk against corruption. Abantu abalowooza nti omanyi like everything that's normalizing.
I liked it.
Ntikati abantu bali mu kufa
normalizing them. Everything starts with you. Fighting other corruption. China kutandika na Uganda. Tekintu tusoke tulindeko
buli kimu kunsika. Abagala environment. Kati nalaberoja ayogera ku environment. Yes.
Because what of recent curfew weberedde ku sawa 3 ngosanga abantu abamu nga business kya operating ngo ogesa ko mubuza naye banaye gwe ngo tati akukwata bikinga already twabimanyira bajja ne tubawa kasente then ne bakola ki ne bagenda bwabanga abadde atunda byakulya najja namwayo besowani emmere besowani yaki nasigala nga akola ki ye nasigala nga akola nengo omusirikale amulesa bamu n'abasirikale ne batuuka ne batuula ne batandika n'okunyumya ekibozibozi n'abantu abo but it's curfew it's past curfew time ochulide so bannayuganda naffe tulina engeri gye twongedde okutumbula mu enguzi tugireseewo olwansonga nti naffe twagala okukola ki tugifunamu yes oli awaayo enguzi bamuleka asigale ng'akola oli nawaayo enguzi bamuleka ayitewo ewantu awamu nzijukira olunaku lumu twakeerako ne mami wange nga tugenda mu town kukola shopping I think yali owino yes ng'enkeera oba yali Christmas oba yali Easter so tutuuka nga owino bati bakkiriza kugulawo katale paka saawa nga ziweze 12 ng'abantu bali ku luggi balwana kati mami n'aŋŋamba olaba abasajja abo bw'oba tumaze muwaayo kintu kidogo tagenda kukkiriza kuyitawo kubana abantu abataka because you already yalinga akera everyday era nga bamumanyi so bwe yatuuka n'agamba gwoli wa wano jjanga bulijjo everyday yena ayitawo nga tawaddeyo ssente kati abantu abali wabweru abasinga they had to give in money omusajja abaleke bayitewo naye nga toziwaayo nga balaba oziwaayo wefula banayo office obanga mukwata mu mukono okiwulira ogenda okulaba bakugulidde gate naye nga tomanyi yengeri enguzi gyesigaddewo
corruption helps both. Me who's giving the money, and the one who's receiving. So, we shouldn't normalize that.
Yensonga lwaki abantu abasinga tebagala kyogerako because bafunamu. Omuntu ng'afuna mu kintu abatayagala kyogerako. Yensonga lwaki abasumba abamu baba bulira enjiri ng'emukwatako eyo tajogera.
Ate nze kankusoka kati kankunyumiza. Abannayuganda mmwe ekintu bannayuganda ekikyabalemye paka ssaawa zino ate nga kigenda kufailing our generation, which is really hurting me as an individual. That Ugandans balina ekizibu ky'okugamba mbu they feel like they think about today.
They don't think about tomorrow.
They don't think about the future generation.
No, they think about what is there today at this time.
Okitegeera nti tutuuke kusanga ensi ezikulaakulanye tezitunula wano. United States ssaawa zino wetwogerera bamanyi president waabwe agenda kulayira ku lunaku ki mu 2025 agenda kulayira ku ssaawa mmeka
banaabawo bagenyi kyabagenda okuyitwa
ssaawa zino bamanyi mbu president wa United States ssaawa zino nga yafudde ayinza okumuddako ayinza okuddako yo president nkatugere ku Bungereza bamanyi queen waafa second in line, third in line, fourth in line. Paka ku 30th eyo must like they've prepared.
I mean baba baganya okukkiriza ono yaliwo kubanga
kati bannayuganda tukomawo ddi okutuula wano tugambe mbomanyi abaana baffe tuli mubayigiriza ki ono omwana gwe ngenda okuzaala oyagala abeere mu nsi ki because ensi tekoma ku ggwe lwaki abedda bo basobolanga zekyembuzo lwaki bali abedda yasobolanga okusimba omuvule ng'amanyi tagenda naggwebaka tagenda
tuula mu mukasikirize
n'omwana we tajja gutuulamu tajja nafunamu mbaawo muzzukulu omwana w'omuzzukulu oyo why were they able to think about those things?
Because bamanyanga nti wendi ndiwo time bwet naye time bwetu kangenda kuvaawo.
That is the thing.
But in
the
problem we have nti right now oli alowooza ku lubuto lwe alowooza family ye eriwo kati na lubuto lwe tebakya planningira biseera bya maaso.
Let us start thinking about the future generation. Woba oli mu kunormalizing corruption. Do you want your child to also give corruption?
Rogers gayogera ku nsonga ya climate. Sawa zino climate yakyuka tetukyasobola predicting nti okay omwezi bagutembwa gutwagenda kubeerawo enkuba of which kikyuse nti kati olowooza bagenda bbaawo enkuba ne wabeerawo akasana because tusaze meeting ate tubaliridde biseera bya maaso kiki ekigenda otuukawo buli omu ffe tulowooza as long as efunyemu akasente kolwalika naalyamu ekyemisana ebisigadde binangwa enkoono
banayo ebintu zekyovolaba for me abantu bajja kumpita oba a philosopher oba chi, but for me I believe in values. Go gamers, for me naturally I believe in values. Nzikiriza okulowooza ku future generation. What will our kids find? What do we want them to see? Ebyo bintu byetulina okulowoozaako before you start being corrupt. What about your child? Because tetugenda kukoma kufe.
Omanyi kati waliwo abantu abatambula ku nguudo nga ayina ekipapula kyavudde wa LC yamuwaddeyo akasente n'amwandikira ekipapula. Polisi yagambe eyagala ku revokinga powers z'aba LC. Because kati ba LC bali mu ku extortinga mu bantu sente. Kati oba oli mulwadde kwa bagambe ekipapula. Gufuna budde.
Tafuna musaala.
Kati ye ogwo gwe musaala gwe gwakola ki yengeri gye yeesasula.
Sijja kulekera okubyogerako bino bintu wadde mwe mubifudde ebirinomo mwefudde embuno bino ebintu temubiraba naye nze mbiraba ebintu bikyamu Uganda weetuuse mazima omuntu Uganda ne basiba abantu nga mubalaba mukimanyi babasibidde bwemage you know they are prison of conscience ne tusirika ne tutabyogerako ne bakwata abantu ne babatta ne tutogera
Uganda kati bayingira mu kino bw'oyogera gwaddako boyogera yensonga lwaki abantu tebavaayo kwogera ku bintu
kati buli omwana abamulamu paka ddi naye the fact is what I'm saying Uganda should come back. I think we just need a rebirth. Ngalo omuntu aye kwogala okosa akagamba ako
omwami Jeremiah Mutivi akaboyogera kagamba ka
rebirth akamanye
abakategera bulungi.
We need a rebirth ng'eggwanga tuddemu buto tuddeyo kuba kati covid akulaza ekinyusi mbuno obulamu
You know, the first wave teyatunyiga nnyo, but this second wave, of which tetunamanya waves ziri mmeka.
Batugamba Africa is going to experience.
Waliwo abagamba esatu abalala bagamba nya simanya ni yaziplanning.
World Health Organization ekirwadde bakisoma ne bakistudyinga ne bakiraba.
But so far the second wave etugoyeza nnyo, so bwe kiba nti third wave enajja nga tetugiplaningidde tugenda sigalawo.
Ate ne wano ndi mukulaba siraba nani ya planize saa kike ba planize paka sawa.
Bacha planninga gula chuma cha oxygen.
Ekyuma kya oxygen kinatulako abantu bameka. Bintu ebimu wana. We do a feasible plan for many, for the greater good. It is called the greater good. Abasinga fenna tufune ekintu kye tunafunamu fenna tukifunemu fenna. Si ono no. Fenna.
Bafokasingeko ne ku ndwadde endala. Waliwo abalwadde ba AIDS abatakyasobola kutuuka mu malwaliro gye banywera ddagala lwa nsonga tewakyali ntambula, tebakyakkirizibwa kutambula. Abalwadde ba kansa, abantu abalina endwadde ez'enjawulo okiwulidde nga tebakyasobola kutuuka mu malwaliro lwa nsonga tewakyali ngeri gye batambulamu. Bwe bakusanga ku booda okubwa, poliisi bagigamba nti erina okumanya tekyetaagisa oluusi na bbaluwa kumanya nti ono mulwadde. Naye mulimu abantu abamu nga tagenda kuva eri yetimba ekipande mu maaso nga kijjudde wano ku kyenyi tibannangenza atambula gwe mulaba wano nina ekirwadde gundi.
Omanyi bantu mmwe otutuuse wano tuli mu lutalo era mmwe abalowooza muno tuli mu bintu byakuzannya oba bintu byakudiibuda oba byakuzannyiramu byakusekeramu bo bakyesonyiwe. Tuli mu lutalo. Omanyi olutalo lubeera lutya Lilian gasinamaliza. Olutalo lubeera buli omu ku lulwe. Katonda kulaffe fenna. Survival. Kuba mulamu kussa. Kati gowo linza smaya gavumenti ekugambe ate amakerendo jagenda ogakime boti okole bwo. Tuli mu lutalo.
Kiki kinalijogera ko last time nti bwe tunatulanga wansi tulinde gavumenti etukolere buli kimu. Tugenda maliriza tufudde bufi. Abanafa bajja kufa. Abanasigalawo.
Ne bali tubagambeko nabo bamanye nti era bwe yatunagamba na ku cabinet kwa yeyoke ekikwata eri mu
sawa zino yeri mukola judiciary yagalawo dda
yekola butemugamba
sawa zino tusoke togele ku sawa zino because parliament
tekyatula ne Uganda ekimanye buli lunaku
no parliament tekyatula
naye parliament buli gye bate passing nga policies ne ziganibwa
government manya cabinet
omukulembeze wa cabinet yakugamba muno tagenda kudamu na kosa parliament kati kena mutuleme kubeera umanya bamu kuffe twaganye tuwudise bana Uganda tubalage mbune ekintu kiryoke tuwabuli amazima tena obagamanyi mutima umanyi buli omwe ayinza okubeera nga amanya amazima naye nga mwena muti ogogera
nga buli omwe agamba why kaninde
kundagera enze sijja kwogera
agundi yogera
chobola oli abagambi bane ba elite they are useless bigambo bya BSG naye nze nange nabitiikinzeeko
okay dakika ziribu edakika ebula 12 okuwera sawa 3 ez'amakyago lunaku luno right. It's an in-house Thursday where we talk about different issues gabadde bitambula mu ggwanga ffe tujjawo ne tubikubaganyako ebirowoozo atwasose ne Mighty Global News okuva wa mukulu Edgar Karuhanga tufuna Mighty Fashion Tips okuva wa mchala Teaange awamu ne Mighty Environmental Tips okuva wa mukulu Rogers Tulyahabwe. Olunaku lwa leero tutunuulira stories ezibaddewo mu mwezi ogwa June. Yes, because right now tuli mu July abantu
enaku zino z'ennaku bazimanyi abana tebamanyi na nnaku
already tuli mwezi ogwa
bamanyi yaba tamanyi mbunna akuna
tuli mwezi ogwa July, so financial year etandise olunaku luno olwaleero financial year 2021-2022 bingi nnyo ate ebyayisibwa omuli the 12% tax ku internet bebimu ku bintu by the way ebyali ebitandika olunaku luno olwaleero. Yes, ebitandika olunaku luno olwaleero. So mwaka gwatandise dda ogw'ebyensimbi oguwedde twaguvuddemu naye guno already twagutandise dda. Ekirwadde ki COVID-19 kiri very serious. Abantu nnyo bakyagenda maaso n'okufa. So munnange bw'obanga tojja kusobola kusasula bukadde buna nga bakusabye mu ddwaliro sigala ewaka wekiba tekyetaagisa kutambula oba yambala masiki yo sanitize teekawo akabanga wakati w'omuntu akuliraanye because tetwesiga muntu yenna saawa zino tuyinza kwesiga gundi nti gundi munnange bw'anaaba kuleetedde ekirwadde ojja kugamba nti gundi yeyandeetera ekirwadde. So bwekiba tekyetaagisa kutambula munnange sigala ewaka ate osobola okubeera nga munnange osigala nga oli mulamu. Shadow cabinet ogijjukira
shadow cabinet sijijukira naye nze kati shadow cabinet nze kati waliwo ebintu bya
omwali Mathew mpuuga
ebyo nze okay
alonda cabinet naye kyanewunyisa ne ku mulundi guno era Segenya Muhammad teyali
ate kati bamuwera ki
n'abasinga baafuna bwe tutunuulira
ati kyekyo bye tulina okukyusa ekirungi balina mu kukyusa narrative nti si buli omu alina okufuna lwaki
naye Segenya y'omu ku bantu abasinze okukolera abantu be mu kitundu
mukama yeebala okyogedde na bulungi buli munnayuganda bw'atyo bw'ayogera nti bambi ono akoze nnyo katumuwa ekifo gwe bagayo balina kukuwa kifo lwakuba okoze nnyo you have to earn a position. Omanya otya nze kyengamba balonda omuntu nga tebakulonda lwakuba okoze bwoti lwakuba olina obusobozi bwe buti kyovula nze neewuunya osanga talina ate lwaki ate yakola bubi okusekendinga opposition kuba oli yaliwo opposition ate naye
abasinga tebalonda ono
kyebasibe bagamba kamala akola bwati kama tunuza wano kamera mbalageko akola bwati mwenna muli basibe mukayira ani akulembera abasibe
nera no but Edgar bobo tunulide ngeri opposition jeze kolamu ebintu byayo
wetunakola ekyo that means tugenda kubanga tubuuka kuva wano nga tugwa mu kinnya kirala wetunakola ebyo tuba tubuuse kuva mu kino ekinnya nga tudda mu kinnya kirala. We need to change the narrative. We are a growing generation. Let us not follow what other people, what the old generation has been doing. It is okay. As long as you don't have they don't feel you are capable of doing that, don't be given the position. Let us not be...
when the opposition ekyalimu mu struggle kweli. Because buli omu abala waafunira abala waawa.
Kyokolabaza kati ebya opposition sikyafaako Uganda. Yafuuka buli omu muli wansimbi buli omu yeeyiza because ombamwanga nze bandagira wano ku bwerere ku parliament. I looked at opposition as like, look at these guys.
Wabali bamanyi nti mukyala Kadaga agenda kwegata ku opposition.
Nairaido Bagamba, she sweared in as Minister of East African Affairs yesterday. Byensi bagamba nga tumaliza kwanga producer tugamba obudde bwedde njaga twogere ku CDF Muhozi yawadde office ewa General Mbadi Wilson. Abantu abamu bakirabyenga ekintu ekya bulijjo nti tukyusiza CDF naye lwaki balonze General Mbadi Wilson gwe bawadde Mbaso Mbadi ne bamuwa obwa CDF tetulaba
nakirolulangira this time round
musajja wekasese
ne General Eri Tumwine n'agamba nti omukulembeze w'eggwanga alowooze ku retirement
interests alowooze ku retirement yakyogera
naye sawa yakakijjukira sawa zino ng'amaze okuba nti takyalina kifo but that's Uganda for you abantu abamu balowooza nti ministries baba babawadde ennyumba zaabwe za lubeerera nti bajja beera
wemba mwalwana mwenna because katono yakuba essasa eryasooka mu lutalo ye yakuba essasa eryatandika olutalo yaluuzinga n'eriiso lye ng'ali mu lutalo olwo abadde tebakimanyi ye yakuba essasa eryasooka yaluuzinga n'eriiso mu lutalo wetwogera kati presidential advisor ali mukaba
security
lwaki otandise gamba kati muna alitayaringe lwaki wali toyogera stop your jokes
awo manya Edgar atabuse wano tugenda kubanga tusuka the mighty drive ye program jobadde oli mukulaba it has been an in-house Thursday yes tugenda ku nsonga nga bwe ziri era ng'olunaku lwali tubadde tukuba tochi mu bice byaliwo mu mwezi ogwa June.
Retirement people are funny ama maliriza show
yamugambye alowooze ku retirement
nga bamaze retiring gwe because they
retire
that means achogeza mutima mulungi.
Okay.
It
has been a very, very wonderful show. Mwebale mwenna ababaddeko okuva gye twatatikidde okubanga ate atuwunzikira
amawulire naffe
thank you very much Edgar Karuhanga watuwadde amawulire ku makya ne tubaawo ne mukyala Nabukeera Teaange nga tuwa fashion tips ayogedde ku nsonga ya Amlet, Ancolet ne ajise Westlade ojulide abantu abamu by the me I was one of those people I'm one of those people abalinga balowooza nti okwambala Ancolet eba yabamalaya then nakano kibateeka wano mu kiwato anyway ndoza twakuliramu twakulira mu 8 years. Okay. Mwebale nnyo mwebale ddala webale nnyo mukyala Teaange otuwa those fashion tips nayogera ku nsonga za earrings os blending otya oziteekako otya abami nayogera ku nsonga y'essaawa n'omusipi tugenza okwetegereza nga waliwo munnaffe atabirina era bwe tuva wanagenda mu disciplinary committee omukulu Jeremiah Mukibi yagikwasaganya. Webale nnyo webale ddala Teaange Rogers Tulyahabwe najja natuwa ku ya climate natubuulira nti nange bannange ebintu byatabuse dda tokyasobola kupredicting nti kino ekiseera enkuba egenda tonnya oba omusana gugenda kwakala nsonga nti climate yakyuka ate then ne tukoma musawo yaffe ey'okubiri ne tuleka tunyumya kwezo top stories ezibaddewo mu mwezi ate ogwa June. Kambagalize olunaku olulungi nsigadde nze Omumbejja Luwedde Lilian koze ne munnange Edgar Mathew Karuhanga abadde producer olunaku luno olwaleero ye mwami Jeremiah Mukibi ate nga abadde ku kamera yabadde omwami Rogers Tulyahabwe. Mwami katatu musiime yatuvuze okutuuka ate bwe tukoledde show yaffe olunaku luno olwaleero ne tusobola okuba nga ate tubaweereza nga bwe tweyama okuba nti tuweereza bannauagnda. Kambagaliza olunaku olulungi musiibe bulungi mweraba.
Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.